At 84 degrees Celsius, nothing is easy. Breathing hurts, metal burns your skin, and the wind feels like knives. But some families still head out to hunt with a harpoon, not for sport, for dinner. In that kind of cold, every step has a cost, and every meal is earned the hard way. I wake at 4:30 a.m. to quiet movements in the igloo. My Inuit guide, Aklak, is already preparing for our seal hunt. The darkness outside is almost complete. Winter here means nearly 23 hours of night with just a thin blue line on the horizon. For about an hour each day. This morning, not even that faint light greets us. "Ready," Aklak whispers. I nod, still groggy but determined not to slow the hunting party. Stepping outside hits me like walking into a brick wall. Addis, 84 degrees. The cold doesn't just make you shiver. It attacks every exposed millimeter of skin with burning intensity. I foolishly try pouring coffee from my thermos. The liquid freezes midair, landing as brown pellets on the snow. Alec laughs at my shocked expression. First time making instant, iced coffee. At these temperatures, I learn metal becomes brittle enough to shatter and expose skin freezes in under 30 seconds. My eyelashes stick together as tears from the cold air instantly crystallize. Aklak motions for me to blink less. Too much blinking creates ice crystals that can temporarily blind you. Each breath I take forms a cloud that freezes on my scarf, building up a crust that grows thicker by the hour. I watch as the hunters methodically check their gear 3 times. Harpoon, rope, ice pick, knife, seal oil, fire starter. Their hands move through the process with practiced precision despite wearing multiple layers of gloves. When I ask if we're ready after the first check, Aklak simply starts the count again. Out here, one forgotten item means death. The traditional. Boots they've lent me feel strange but remarkably warm, made from caribou leg fur specifically chosen because it contains hollow hairs that trap heat with sealskin soles and dried grass insulation inside. Your fancy store boots, Aklak says with a rare smile. They need charging every night. These boots work for 1,000 years. No batteries. We move through the darkness almost silently, communicating with nods and hand signals. Each word spoken wastes precious heat and moisture. These men have hunted together since childhood. Verbal communication is an unnecessary luxury between people who can read each other's slightest movements. Their harpoons rest perfectly balanced on the shoulders. Too far forward risks slipping on ice, too far back makes quick action difficult. These weapons look simple, but contain refinements from countless generations who lived or died by their effectiveness. Walking through the deep snow doubles our journey time, each step requiring twice the energy of normal walking. The ice beneath isn't flat. It's a landscape of pressure ridges, deep cracks, and hidden thin spots that my companions somehow navigate with certainty. As we near the hunting ground, the pace slows. The hunters scan for subtle signs invisible to my untrained eyes. Suddenly, Aklak raises his hand for us to stop. He points downward and places a finger to his lips. I hold my breath, wondering what he's detected in this frozen world. The ice beneath our feet is not silent as I'd imagined. It speaks. As we stand motionless, I hear it for the first time. A deep, resonant groan followed by sharp cracks that echo across the landscape. The sound startles me, but the hunters don't react. Ice is always moving, Aklak whispers. Even when you can't see it, the sea ice, I learn, is constantly shifting, expanding when it freezes, contracting when warm currents move beneath it, creating a symphony of sounds that experienced hunters interpret like reading a book. We begin moving again, but differently now. The hunters spread out, walking about 15 ft apart. When I start to follow directly behind Aklak, he motions for me to walk beside him instead. Ice remembers footsteps, he explains. Too much weight. In one spot weakens it. Like my mother-in-law visiting stays too long in one place. Everything starts to crack. The ice pops sharply under my next step, and I freeze in panic. Aklak shakes his head. Good sound, he says. Clear, sharp means solid ice. He taps his harpoon shaft against the surface, demonstrating. Then he moves a few feet away and taps again, producing a dull, muffled thud. This sound danger below. I notice all 3 hunters have placed soft caribou hide coverings over there. Boot soles. When I ask why, Aklak whispers, "Ice carries sound. Seal can hear us walking from half-mile away. The sound of hard boots travels through the ice and into the water below, warning seals of approaching danger. The Inuit have developed an entire vocabulary just for ice conditions, more than 50 different words to describe various types of ice. Fast ice, young ice, rotten ice, pressure ice. Each description conveys specific information about safety and travel conditions. This knowledge passed down through generations is critical for survival in this environment, where one wrong step could mean death. I matched their deliberate, almost gliding stride, each foot placed with hushed care, and learned to breathe slowly, evenly. A lesson Aklak passed on with a wry grin, recalling how my first hunt sounded like a boisterous walrus chorus that scared every seal away. Then a sharp crack split the stillness as two ice sheets ground together, forming a jagged pressure ridge that we skirted on his silent command. He pointed out a dark streak. "Pinia," he whispered, a patch of weak ice, coveted by seals but deadly underfoot, detectable only by its subtle hue and muted thud when tapped with a harpoon. Approaching our spot, Aklak knelt, brushed snow from a tiny hole, and signaled us into position, 6 feet downwind, perfectly still, to await the seal's return. We waited in frozen silence, breath directed downward through scarves, every exhale crystallizing on lashes that I blinked sparingly to prevent a frosted veil over my eyes. Minutes stretched toward an hour as we balanced warmth and sweat in layered thin furs. Too cold and muscles seized, too warm, and we'd freeze from our own perspiration. Then, lightning quick, Aklak's harpoon plunged through the seals. Fleeting air pocket. The rope snapped taut and he braced against the ice while the seal thrashed below, the toggling head locking inside its flesh. Inch by inch he hauled the line with steady strength honed by childhood games of tug-of-war, until the seal broke the surface in a spray of water and steam. In the chaotic aftermath he muttered a word of thanks, a ritual of respect, then secured the animal while steam rose from its blood on the snow. In those moments I witnessed how centuries of ice readers move as one with their world, each step, each breath, each strike, a testament to survival in the Arctic's relentless cold. Over countless seasons, Inuit hunters have honed their tools to thrive in the Arctic's brutal cold. Chasing a seal is folly, Aklak reminds me. Instead, patience wins the day as stubbornness secures the catch. The mittens they wear, fashioned from waterproof seal skin with reinforced palms, grip the icy rope better than any store-bought glove, protecting hands under bone-chilling tension that would shred ordinary fabric in minutes. Aklak settles into a rhythmic tug, drawing in line against a 100-pound ringed seal's frantic resistance. A battle of endurance that mirrors childhood tug-of-war games among cousins, where losers shivered in snow and winners built the arm strength needed for real hunts. Reading the seal's fight, he murmurs its age and size, skills impossible to glean from books, then pauses as the animal rests before striking again with renewed force. In an explosive surge, the seal breaks the surface, spraying water and ice. Aklak seizes its head while I lean into the line, marveling at each violent twist of muscle beneath its spotted coat. "Hold tight," he commands, and I grasp the rope as blood hisses into steam on the snow, freezing in seconds at -84. The hunters coordinate with silent precision. One readies a driftwood club, another a bone-handled knife, each movement a testament to generations of refined technique. With a swift blow, the club renders the seal unconscious, and Aklak utters a prayer of thanks, honoring the life that now sustains them. Within moments, they lash the carcass into a harness. For the long haul home, priorities clear: meat for food, blubber for lamp oil, hide for garments, bones for tools. As they rest briefly, eyes scanning the horizon for prowling polar bears drawn by the scent of blood, I realize that in this world of relentless cold, every tool, every tug, and every drop of sweat-forged skill marks the difference between survival and oblivion. Arctic weather can turn on a dime, shifting from clear skies to a blinding whiteout in under half an hour, and at 84 degrees, being trapped in a storm is a death sentence. Yet here, every subtle breeze or cloud formation speaks volumes to hunters whose instincts are honed by centuries of survival. With the seal lashed securely, Aklak and his companion trade off dragging the more than 150-pound prize in deliberate Rotations every few hundred yards. Better than any gym, he jokes, and you get dinner, not just a protein shake. Our path home demands constant vigilance. Ice sheets rearrange beneath unseen currents. Wind-driven snow drifts obscure. Safe routes, and each suspicious patch is tapped with a harpoon shaft to reveal a dull thud of danger. Meanwhile, the blood trail etched into the snow warns of polar bears drawn by scent from nearly 20 meters away. The world's most dangerous pizza delivery service. Aklak grins, reminding us that every step must be measured and swift. As the cold wind carves through even the tiniest gaps in our gear, each inhalation feels like shards of glass, and a misstep on slick ice risks a fall one can't afford to recover from. Halfway back, a newly formed pressure ridge, nature's unmarked roadblock, forces a lengthy detour that stretches our exhaustion and tests our endurance. My toes and fingers start to numb, and I learn to twitch them in time with our cadence. To stave off frostbite, mirroring the hunter's practiced rhythm of life and movement. Then, just as the settlement's dark silhouettes emerge against the white expanse, the first snowflakes swirl into a gathering storm, arriving moments after. We do, underscoring that in the Arctic, timing is as vital as every tool and every heartbeat in the fight for survival.